Chapter 6. It hears you breathe. Don't talk, don't run, don't even breathe. The air in Bent Horn turned thick like wet cotton. Too quiet, too dense, like the town was holding its breath. Wasn't just the killings anymore, wasn't just fear. It was something deeper now, predatory. You could feel it. In the way dogs wouldn't bark. In how the wind never whistled past the broken steeple no more. Even the crickets, loud-ass lil bastards that usually owned the night, gone. Just straight up quit the choir. Something watching, Redbone muttered, sharpening his Bowie knife by the light of a half-dead porch bulb. You feel it too? Smoke nodded without looking up. Ain't just watching, it's listening. K-Doll stepped out the garage with a roll of duct tape, tossing it toward the stack of metal buckets they'd rigged into a homemade alarm system. I taped up the air vents, she said. Tried to seal the gaps. That bitch even smells breath. We're fucked. Tanisha pulled her hoodie tighter, eyes scanning the trees. We need something bigger, louder. Make it show itself. Junior grinned in that jittery, cracked-out way he did when ideas turned dangerous. I got a hog carcass and 2 pounds of C4 in my cousin's shed. Silence. Then K-Doll blinked slow. You say that shit like it's normal. Bent Horn ain't normal, Junior said. Ain't been normal since that storm. Smoke cocked his head. What storm? Junior's eyes darted left, right, then up, like the sky had secrets. 3 weeks ago, meteor shower, big one, lit up the whole damn sky green. Ever since then, dead birds, black slime in the bayou, weird tremors. He leaned in, voice low. I think that's when it came. Fell out the sky, right into our fucking backyard. They ran the bait plan the next night. Old hog corpse dragged out to the swamp edge, rigged with pressure sensors and the C4 block wrapped in tarp. Tanisha wired the trigger to her burner phone. Smoke and Redbone set up 30 yards back with scopes and rifles. K-Doll parked the Monte Carlo in neutral, pointed downhill in case they needed a fast getaway. Junior stayed behind on comms, laptop hooked to the camera mounted above the bait. 12:47 a.m. Nothing. 1:12 a.m. Still nothing. 1:33 a.m. Static started creeping across the camera feed, not normal fuzz, wavy like the image was breathing. Then a shape, low to the ground, not walking, slithering. Camera clicked, feed jumped. Tanisha whispered into the comm. I see it. Y'all, I see it. It was humanoid, but wrong. Too long, too thin. Translucent skin like melted jellyfish. Its organs pulsed behind the surface, like a warped ultrasound. Heart, liver, stomach, and intestines. Long ones, not its own. Mookie's. Wrapped around its chest like a sick trophy sash. No eyes. But it turned like it saw them anyway. Then it opened its mouth. Not a jaw, a split, vertical. All the way from chin to sternum, peeling open like an unzipped coat. Rows of teeth. Not in lines, but circles. It screamed. Not a roar. Not a howl. A copy of Redbone's voice. Y'all dead. Blow it, Smoke shouted. Tanisha hit the trigger. Click. Nothing. Shit. The creature was gone. Just vanished. A second later, the hog carcass lifted into the air like it was floating. Then it dropped, split in half. No noise, no mess. Just gone inside. They bailed, didn't look back, didn't breathe. Only thing louder than the silence was K-Doll's sobs when they reached the edge of town. The town woke up slower now. Or maybe it just didn't wake up at all. Smoke drove through Main Street and counted 8 closed shops, 5 busted streetlights, and 0 signs of morning life. Folks was staying inside even during the day now. Bent Horn had officially slipped into ghost town mode. The feed had taken more than guts. It took sound, took movement, took the feeling that things might ever get back to normal. By the time Smoke pulled up at Redbone's trailer, even the birds stopped singing. You see this? Redbone said, holding a Polaroid up to the porch light. Took it this morning by the school. Photo was blurry, but in the corner, a smear, a long, jointless limb, wrapped in barbed wire, And in the background, barely visible, the playground monkey bars were bent in a way no wind could have done. "That's where the Robinson boy got found," Redbone said, voice low. "Ain't nobody reported it yet. His mama too scared to go public." Smoke took a deep drag. "So that makes 8? Redbone shook his head. 10, if you count the preacher's niece and the 2 junkies behind Ms. Lottie's. Smoke's eyes narrowed. "And the cops?" "Briggs said they ran off. Vagabonds, druggies. Got no sympathy for the dead lest they wear a badge." Back at the garage, K-Doll was cussing at the scanner while Junior tried rerouting the signal through a hacked ham radio setup. "We need ears on this bitch," she snapped. "It moves without making sound, but leaves that burning slime behind. It's fast, but it drips. That means it got mass." Junior spun knobs like a DJ having a seizure. "If we tune into low frequencies, infrasound, we might catch it when it talks." Smoke raised an eyebrow. "You think it's talking?" "Not talking," Junior corrected, "but signaling. Like sonar, whale-type shit, clicks, pulses, the kind of thing that makes glass vibrate but you don't hear it." Tanisha scribbled in a spiral notebook, flipping through anatomy diagrams. "Every kill is a full gut removal. No other tissue damaged. That ain't animal behavior. That's procedure." Redbone leaned against the wall. "You saying it's harvesting us?" Tanisha nodded, dead serious. "Yeah, and it's getting better at it." That night they posted in shifts again. Tanisha took the back alley near the pharmacy. Junior had eyes on the old water tower. K-Doll stayed in the garage with the shotgun and a bottle of Mad Dog. Smoke posted in the Monte Carlo with the engine off and both windows cracked just enough to breathe through a t-shirt filter. 2:09 a.m. The radio screeched. Not music, not static. Breathing, heavy, wet, inside the frequency. Then, a whisper. "Y'all, don't breathe." Smoke's heart froze. He held his chest, trying not to make noise. Then, thud, right on top of the fucking car. Metal creaked. The roof sank in slightly like something real heavy just squatted on it. Smoke dared a glance up. Nothing. But the window started to fog, not from inside, from outside, like it was exhaling against the glass. Boom, gunshot, then another. K-Doll came running from the garage with fire in her eyes. "It was inside," she screamed. "I seen it." Smoke kicked the door open, rifle drawn. Too late. The garage was empty, except for Tanisha, bent backwards over the workbench, mouth open, stomach wide as a sinkhole. Her guts? Gone. Not a drop of blood, just clean, precise removal. K-Doll fell to her knees, hands over her mouth. "I was right there. I ain't even blink." Smoke stared at the bench, at the single word carved in it. "Shh." Tanisha's body stayed where it was. Nobody moved her. Not yet. Smoke sat outside the garage, shirt soaked in sweat, eyes glued to the tree line like it owed him money. K-Doll didn't say nothing for 2 hours. She just rocked slow, hands balled into fists so tight her nails dug half-moons into her skin. Junior finally broke the silence. "We shouldn't be alive." Smoke looked at him, eyes rimmed red. "What?" Junior pointed to the bench, to the HHH carved clean through the wood like a branding iron had done it. "That thing ain't sloppy. It don't miss. And it ain't scared of us." Redbone slammed the back door so hard the hinges squealed. "Then why the fuck is it playing with us?" K-Doll's voice was raw. "'Cause it can." Smoke stood, his body feeling heavy like the air. "Time to stop running. Time to see it up close." They moved into town center just after dusk. Brought the rest of the C4, all the flares, every round of ammo they had. Smoke even dusted off Mookie's old sawed-off, still sticky from when they found it near his corpse. Junior set up an array of parabolic mics on rooftops, all tuned to pick up breath-level frequency shifts. "You know it's close," he said, clicking through his laptop screen, when the readings start shaking without sound. The plan was reckless, but hell, everything was reckless now. They wanted a confrontation. They were gonna force it. 11:52 p.m. The temp dropped 20 degrees in 5 minutes. Redbone's teeth chattered. Cold front? Smoke shook his head. It's it. You feel that? Then came the smell. Cleaner fluid and burnt hair. The mic started clicking. Not from input, from distortion. Something was fucking with the sound waves. A noise nobody could hear, but the equipment could feel. Then, lights popped. Every bulb in a 4-block radius went black, flickering like dying fireflies. Even the street lamps gave up the ghost. Then the scream. Not human, not even animal. It came from every direction at once. Smoke fell to his knees, grabbing his ears. K-Doll hit the ground, nose bleeding. Junior's laptop cracked right down the middle like it had been slapped by God. And then they saw it. Clear as fucking day. The feed stood 12 feet tall at the shoulder when it unfolded from the shadows. It wasn't hunched or low to the ground like before. Now it stood proud. Translucent flesh rippling in the moonlight. Organs moving like sea creatures behind a glass tank. Its limbs were too long for walking. They dragged. Its ribcage opened and closed like lungs, even though it had no mouth anymore. That had shifted too. Now its face was Tanisha's. Eyes blacked out, mouth sewn shut. And yet it whispered, inside their heads. Not out loud, not in words, but in feeling. I smell your blood. I wear your screams. Smoke pulled the trigger first. The buckshot lit the night and slammed into its chest, but the feed bent with it, like rubber. K-Doll lit a flare, tossed it, and the light sparked off its translucent bones, but it didn't back off. It stepped forward. Redbone hit it with 2 deer slugs. It staggered, then hissed, not air, not spit, acid. It melted part of the sidewalk, hissing like soda on hot metal. Junior screamed, flinging a Molotov that exploded against its shoulder. It burned, but didn't fall. They ran. Through alleys, over fences. Redbone tripped. Smoke grabbed his arm and pulled him up just as claws tore through the dirt he'd been standing on. K-Doll hit the hood of the Monte Carlo first, tossing keys at Smoke. Go! They peeled off down the street with the feed chasing on all 4s, each step cracking pavement. It was injured. But now, it was pissed. And it wasn't whispering no more. It was screaming. At the edge of town, Smoke turned into the woods. Only one option left. He slammed the brakes and jumped out, flare in one hand, rifle in the other. He stood in the middle of the dirt road and faced it head on. I ain't running, you son of a bitch! The feed slowed. It rose to full height again. Inside its chest, a new set of intestines twitched. Too fresh, too warm. Tanisha's name was still on the hospital bracelet wrapped around the guts. Smoke screamed and fired again, this time right at the face. The blast cracked part of the skull. It let out a shriek that shook the fucking trees. Then it vanished. Gone. Not running. Just gone. Smoke stood in the smoke cloud, panting. K-Doll stepped up behind him, one arm clutching her ribs. Junior limped forward, muttering. It hurt us. But now, he looked at Smoke. It knows us.